Good afternoon. It's a Monday here in January. I'm at Joppa Flats again. This time taking out a different boat. Going to take out a real solo, the Wenonah Vagabond. Again, I take a sunny day, any day, try and get out on the water. I'm just going to go up a little bit into town, then around and come back down. So it won't be a long paddle, but should be fun. A little bit of breeze blowing directly kind of downwind. Tide is pretty slack right now, and it's up as you can see. Let's take a look at the boat. So what I'm paddling today is the Wenonah Vagabond Solo, and I'll put the statistics for it on the, just post it below the video when I post it. One of the interesting things about it, it's the Ultralight Layup, and I'll have a little bit more to say about that. But what I like about it is, you can see, I'll get down close so you can see, it has a adjustable seat, so you can actually position the seat lower than it is now, which I'll be doing later on, at this height, flat, or you can actually kick the back up if you want to kneel. So lots of different positioning. You'll see it also has a foot bar in it. So that again comes in handy a little bit later on in the trip. It is an ultralight, which means it's their lightest layup. It's all Kevlar. People sometimes get concerned about ultralights being fragile. They are not. And I'll probably just write up a little bit about that rather than bore you with it on the tape. So anyway, about to get on the water. Oh, one other thing. Notice my second paddle. Always go out with one more paddle when you have paddlers, right? Everybody does that. So I've got my standard beaver tail, bending branches beaver tail, but you'll notice I've got a kayak paddle as the second paddle. So one nice thing about this particular solo, when you drop that seat down, you can actually use a double-bladed paddle, use it like a pack boat. So that's a really nice feature as well. Okay, let's get on the water. I don't know if you can see, I guess probably not, the buoy that's underwater over there, just to give you an idea of what the current's doing right now. And there's the buoy also giving you the lean back. So just came up against that, actually broke out the double paddle, and used that for a bit to make better progress coming upriver. And now I'm drifting down, so I'm going to pull out the canoe paddle again and just use that to get back home. While I'm sitting here, let's talk a little bit about ultralight, since I'm making progress without having to paddle. You may be able to see, we'll have to see when I look at it on a bigger screen, that the ultralight is actually constructed kind of very smartly to be tough where it needs to be tough. So the top layer just under the gunnel here is 2 layers of Kevlar, kind of out in that space. But as you go down, you can see there's patches that have been added, and that line you see kind of bobbling is actually the water line that you can see through the hull. One of the nice things about the ultralights, you can actually see your water line. But you can see how it's been patched up with additional layers of cloth, and it's a combination of Kevlar. There is one layer of fiberglass in there for some flex. And by the time you get to the bow, you've actually got, bow and stern, you've actually got about 10 layers of Kevlar wrapped around up there, because the 2 on each side wrap over each other in the bow, then the patches that help support the bow tank wrap over, and then there's another additional extra patch on the front. So you really build up the layers pretty quickly where you need it for possible collision protection and those kinds of things. So they take it away where they don't, and they put it where they do, so you end up with a very light but still very, very tough boat. Okay? All right, we'll talk to you at the landing. Okay, so back at Joppa Flats again, got the boat partly tied down on top of the car. Much easier paddle coming back down. Current was a bit stronger than I expected going up, but that's because I didn't pay attention. It's home ground. I've got to focus a little bit more on that. Good paddle both ways. As I said, I think at the stop I did pull out the kayak paddles to make the last little bit going up. So a couple of things to show you. Hold on a second. So one of the things about ultralights is they're very light. And because they're very light, they can easily be blown by the wind. So what do you do to it while you're gearing down? Well, what I do is I tie the bow end to the front rack, and then you can pop the rear hatch and rest it up there. So that works pretty well for me, keeps it from blowing around. I actually had a boat get away from me in the wind and had to chase it. Just got it into the water before I caught it, so fortunately I did. So you got to watch that with the ultralights. If you've got any questions, please contact us at Newberry Kayak and Canoe.